8:37 here, Big 550 KTRS. I felt like one of the cool people. I was at the hip party on Friday. I was lifting weights, the clean and jerk at Union Station. What was that thing? It was some weightlifting competition or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I have no idea, but you had to walk through like Sergey through all these Russian weightlifters
to get to the wine.
to get to the wine party. It was really kind of nice. Taste and Toast, great event, right?
Thank you. Yeah, we had like 400 folks, and the wine was amazing. The food was terrific, and we had it at the very beginning of the month in celebration of our annual wine issue, which is out on the street now.
It was really, really a lot of fun. Lots of people knew. People couldn't have been any nicer. It was a fun time.
Thank you.
All
Thank you for coming.
You got it. Let's get some restaurants.
Well, first, I want to give a shout out to Gerard Kraft.
Yes.
He won.
He won.
He won the James Beard Award for Best Chef Midwest just a couple of days ago. He and his team at Niche do amazing work. We've talked about it multiple times, but it is wonderful to see him win, and I am thrilled for him. I've known Gerard since he came to St. Louis to open Niche, and he could not be a more genuine and lovely person, and I am just thrilled.
What does that mean to win a James Beard Award?
Well, people say that it's like the Oscars of food. It kind of, if you have to compare it to something that most people understand, I mean, essentially it is a nationwide, not contest, but it's an award that is given by the James Beard Organization, which is based in New York, and it recognizes the best in food across the country. And so it's a huge, huge honor.
And this is the first James Beard Award winner in St. Louis, right?
Not exactly. Tim Brennan actually won a James Beard Award in, I don't remember the exact year, but he did win one previously. But this is the first Best Chef Midwest winner.
How long ago did this guy win it?
I think it was in the late 80s, maybe early 90s.
I thought you were going to say it was like 1752 or something.
Tim Brennan runs Cravings in Webster Grove.
Well,
I love him too.
He's
Tim
looking a little old
fantastic.
these days. I thought it was in
McGraw.
I am kidding.
He is not. He is an incredibly talented pastry chef. So there are some James Beard folks here in town, but it is the first Best Chef Midwest win for St. Louis.
All right, good. All right, and he runs Niche.
Yes, he does. Niche, Pasteria, Taste, and Brasserie.
Brasserie, yes. Which Brasserie is really good.
Yes, all of them are very good and very distinct.
Yes, very good. Okay, let's get some restaurants.
Okay, so I've got two spots for you, both relatively new. The first one is the Lucky Buddha on South Jefferson. It's 3701. Essentially, if you know where Sump is, it's across the street.
Okay.
And it is this really great kind of, it's very casual, terrific cocktails, great sake list, nice beer list, some nice wines, and it's like Pan-Asian, kind of like resurrecting the idea of the Pan-Asian. But they've got like steam buns, and if you've ever had steam buns before, they're not the kind where it's totally enclosed and then you have kind of the meat and veggies inside. These are kind of like the, steam bun tacos, essentially, where you have this beautiful, soft, slightly sweet dough that encases. I had the sake braised shiitake mushroom steam buns that had the cilantro and a little bit of daikon and some jalapeno on top. Excuse me. They have these vegetarian and also fresh Thai spring rolls where I like the fresh Thai spring rolls myself. It has this wonderful kind of dried pork skin, which is shredded. It's very, very tasty. And then carrot and basil, some mint and cilantro. I mean, all those wonderful Asian flavors just kind of packed into the spring roll. They have these fried, marinated wings, these Thai-style wings. They have ramen and pho, and they also have banh mi sandwiches, and then a bunch of different salads. And one that I really enjoyed is this green papaya and cucumber, which had this funky fish sauce, kind of spicy, salty, wonderful dressing on it. Really refreshing. So it's great for hot weather like this.
South Buddha.
Lucky Buddha on South Jefferson.
My pen ran out. Lucky Buddha on South Jefferson.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, really fun stuff, and like even some yakitori and all that kind of good
All right,
good
good.
stuff.
All right, what's number 2?
Number 2 is two of our city's biggest players have joined forces in St. Albans. So Tom Sainert, who is the wonderful, very talented owner of Annie Guns, one of the guys that really helps to define the St. Louis food scene. He has joined forces with none other than Mike Emerson from Pappy's. Hello. And what they're doing. So Tom...
This is a joining of like Superman and Batman.
I know. They call it more like Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer because this is in St. Albans along the Missouri River within eyeball, range essentially of one of the spots where Lewis and Clark, one of their first stops on their trek, west. But so Tom Sainert for about a decade has owned Head's Store, which is on St. Albans Road at 3516 St. Albans Road. And it is, I think it was built 1892, and it has been just kind of a corner store, general store for St. Albans throughout its history. So he's owned it for 10 years. He's restored it, and he's had a really great selection of like sandwiches. It's so charming because they have all of these notepads where kids will come in, grab a sandwich, and then they just write it down so people have like store credit. I mean, that's how charming.
That's the best. What's the name of this place?
It's called Heads, and I'm pronouncing the S because it's possessive.
Okay.
Heads Store.
And it's been around since 1892?
Yeah, not with all the same names, but yeah, so he bought it a decade ago and again restored it. And so he and Mike were chit-chatting one night, and Mike was like, "What are you doing out there?" And Tom was like, "I don't know." So they kind of put their heads together. And so just this past weekend, they launched Pappy's at Head's Store. So over the weekends, from 11 until it runs out, you can get...
So like 11:15.
Right, exactly. You can get half and full slabs of ribs. You can get the pulled pork, smoked turkey. You can get Pappy's wings, and then also Tom is introducing kind of this new Americana menu to complement these sandwiches and all that kind of stuff. So like smashed burgers, and so he kind of put in a griddle. It kind of used it almost as an excuse to kind of expand. So he's doing hand cut fries and onion rings. It really is meant to be this slice of Americana burger. Beer, barbecue, and it is so charming. It's right across the street from this wonderful lake, which has like a little playground, so you can get your food and walk across the street, or you can sit there. And they have like 10 tables on the inside. They have a little patio, and they're actually going to be over by the where the pitmaster is going to be doing his thing. They're going to do a screened-in pitmaster table where it's kind of like a chef's table at a high-end restaurant where you can sit in there and talk to the guy who's working the pit. It's just really a lot of fun, and this is the only place where you can, because there's no beer served at Pappy's. You can actually get beer at Head's Store, so you can go on a Saturday, get yourself a beer, get yourself a half slab of ribs.
I didn't know that Pappy's didn't serve alcohol.
I didn't know that either.
If they serve beer, people would just be there all day.
I mean, the line is already always out the door.
People there are all day anyway.
I know. So it's kind of a very unique thing where you can now, and so they have served like AB products at Head's Store, just like bottles and cans, whatever, but they're going to be adding a bunch of taps and bringing in local craft beer. So it's a really neat development. If you've never made it out to St. Albans, it is a beautiful.
Okay, what's the address of Head's?
It is
Head Store.
3516 St. Albans Road. And if it's not, they don't have a website.
Right.
They're, it's a teeny tiny little spot. And
just go out there.
So just go out there.
Old school.
Yeah, it's old school, but I'm sure you can Google map that address.
Right.
But it's definitely worth it. On a gorgeous Saturday, zip out there, make it an excuse to just go for a drive in the country. I love it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It is great.
That is
nice
Superman and
merger.
Batman teaming up. Head Store on St. Albans Road, and then the Lucky Buddha on South Jefferson.
Yes.
Just enough time. What's going on with Feast Magazine?
Well, The Wine Issue is out.
Yes.
And so I brought you guys a couple copies. This
Good.
is our annual celebration of our local wine industry and the craft beverage movement in general with beer and distillers. I mean, Missouri was one of the biggest producers of wine before Prohibition, and the industry is really making a huge comeback over the past decade. It's a really big economic driver, and we are so lucky. We're one of the only places in the country where within 45 minutes to an hour, you can go to all of these amazing wineries and sit down and do a tasting and just kind of have
like
that experience.
40 or 50 wineries now or something.
Oh, no, there's like 150.
What?
Across the state.
Okay.
It's a huge industry.
No idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the Midwest Napa.
No, it exactly is.
And people
the
come from
quality
other
of the
states
wine,
to come visit, right?
Absolutely. It's a huge tourism driver, and the quality of the wine. I mean, a lot of, Missouri wines are sweet. Some wines are sweet. Some California wines are sweet.
That's right.
You need to get out there, taste the wines. The quality will blow you away. And so that's why we do this wine issue, because I am in love with the wine industry. If I didn't do what I do, I think I would love to be a winemaker. So this is like my
Trust me, I saw her Friday night. She loves the wine.
She loves her.
She was showing her love to the wine.
I have to go around and taste everybody's, right?
Feastmagazine.com, feastmagazine.com. You can subscribe to Feast Magazine. Just go to feastmagazine.com and fill out all the paperwork, and they can deliver it right to your house. Kat Neville with Feast Magazine. Have a good week.
Thank you.
All right, it is 8:48 here, Big 5.